Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of The Buster Show and the first ever Buster Show with somebody inside of the bubble. Today, we're very lucky to have Troy Brown Jr. of the Washington Wizards in on the podcast. Troy, how are you?
What's up, my guy? How you doing?
Doing good, man. So how is it? First impressions, you've been in for like 3 days?
Yeah, well, it's been like 5 now, but I mean, honestly, for me personally, it's not that bad. A lot of the conditions and stuff like that aren't that bad. We all have our own rooms. The food is pretty good. I would say the only inconvenient thing is obviously we get tested every day, but other than that, like everything else is pretty smooth. So
Do you guys get to ride any of the rides?
they do have slot times for us to go ride the rides. Yeah, they do. Yeah,
Are
you
you
gotta
gonna
reserve it though. I probably will sometime soon. I later today, me and a couple of my teammates are about to go play they have like these big like board games and stuff outside. Like they have like cornhole and like Connect Four and ping pong. So we gonna go out there and mess around a little bit. Today's our off day, so
That's like summer camp.
something like that, like a big AAU tournament.
Right. Do you get those do you miss AAU at all?
From a sense of it being like just basketball and like the little goofy stuff that you like, when you get older, like you don't appreciate the stuff that you had back then. Like you think like, oh, I can't wait to be older. But I definitely like AAU was super fun for me.
And it's definitely really funny. Obviously, you're super early on in your career, but seeing the difference in what some of the rookies are saying about the bubble and what some of the veterans are saying, where
Yeah.
I saw John Morant talking about how he's happy, he's
Yeah.
not used to the luxury, but
Hmm.
obviously the veterans who have been, in it for 10 years.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's good to hear that you're enjoying it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to ask, and I have to ask every player this now, and I'm curious if you've ever even thought about it.
Okay.
Do you know anything about basketball cards?
Like the sense of like signing them and stuff like that. Like that we talking about? Yeah, just because like a lot of us have like the Panini deal, so we have to sign the cards and we ship them back and stuff like that. But from the like value standpoint of it, or like trading and selling them, nah, I have no idea how that works.
So it's a pretty wild industry, and I think that essentially you've never obviously looked at your own value on eBay before.
Mm-mm. Unless somebody like has tagged me in like something on like Instagram or something, I've never like looked up a Troy Brown like card.
So essentially, and I got one here. We're going to give it away to somebody who's watching. But so I'll break that at the end. But
Okay.
essentially, it's like your own stock. Like
Mhm.
you IPO'd as a player the second you got into the league, and
Right.
depending on how you play, your stock value goes up on
Hmm.
your rookie cards are the most
Right.
important thing. And literally the difference in one game. So let's say you bought 100 of your own rookie cards,
Okay.
and you went out, you bought 100 for, let's say, $10 each.
Right.
So you spent like $1,000 on them. And you go out and you put up 35. The value is going to triple, quadruple. You just made thousands of
For
dollars.
sure. Yeah.
So I think that you should invest in your own sports cards.
That's actually, I mean, honestly, that's actually really smart if you really think about it from the standpoint you just put it in. Like, especially if you believe in yourself as a player, like, I feel like that's actually a really good idea. Nobody's ever brought that to my attention before.
And it's pretty crazy too, because all it takes is if you started posting about your own cards, the
Yeah.
value would go up, because
Right.
no players, nobody does that. Yet
Yeah.
you have Zion cards that are selling for $100,000 for a piece of plastic.
Well, I think like for the most part, like it's more about like the gross value of it, and like so a lot of us like we sign deals with those cards, so like it's kind of like one of those things where it's like signed it and I got a flat rate, but I'm not gonna get whatever they make for it. So like you said, it would be one of those things where like you would have to buy those like $10 cards and
Mm-hmm.
then like sell them like that. Like you would have to basically like rebuy your own cards and then sell
Mm-hmm.
them.
Yeah,
So yeah.
that's crazy. How many do you have to sign each year?
it's different, like based off of like each player. Obviously, each player gets paid more, or, like signs more, just depending on like me compared to like Zion. Like obviously, he would probably get more cars he has to sign, or like get paid more. And so like depending on your platform and like how much like publicity and like how good you play, like that just depends on how much you get paid and how many cards you sign. But like for me, I would probably say somewhere around like 10 to 12,000 cards like throughout the year, throughout the season.
That's a lot of cards.
Yeah, yeah. But
That's-
you gotta think it's through like 6 months. So like they're sending like one box each month with like 3,000 in them. So like it doesn't seem like it's that much until it adds up.
That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, I do think though that it's like it's an alternate investment class, and I'll just say for somebody watching, you have to follow myself and Troy on Instagram, and I'm gonna ship this to you. It's a Revolution rookie card, so it's obviously your rookie. I don't know how well you can see it, but yeah, so that's that. So everybody look out for that. Um, but what else is going on in your world, man? How do you feel about kind of the Wizards going into this?
I mean, for us, like I just feel like we're in one of those situations where for us we can definitely make a lot of noise based off of where we're at. Like we're a ninth seed, and we just have to get within 4 games of the team in eighth or seventh in order to get a chance at making the playoffs. Like so I mean we're only 6 games behind Orlando and 6 games behind Brooklyn. And so I feel like it's definitely a great opportunity for us. We got a lot of young guys, like a lot of players. Like our average age on our team is like 22. Like, and that's very like, that's very rare to see, like, especially like in today's league, like a whole team full of young players. So like, I mean, I just think it's a great opportunity for all of us to just go out there and play and have fun and, try to, make the most out of our opportunity. So.
And I think another opportunity about it too is like, and I just base this on ESPN broadcasting cornhole and it doing really well. But this is the NBA. Like the whole
Right.
world is going to be watching on a
Right.
totally different level. So like for everybody, it's just
Mm-hmm.
it's an even crazier elevated platform. So like an
Yep.
opportunity from that standpoint as well, just like personally even.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's super exciting.
No, that's facts. Yeah.
How do most of the guys feel, especially some of like the older dudes, the veterans on your squad? Are they also excited about it?
Yeah, I feel like everybody in our situation is just trying to make the most of it. Like we have to be here for a minimum of 6 weeks. Like, why come waste 6 weeks? Like, like we might as well try to get the most of this and, go out there and like, bust our tails to try to make the playoffs.
Makes sense. Yeah, man, it's gonna be really exciting. So I've heard a little bit of the layout, but it's a few teams per hotel.
Yeah, yeah. So I think there's like 4 teams per hotel, so then there's like a certain amount of hotels and stuff like that. But yeah.
And then the food. The first day, my timeline was popping, bro.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, with that whole situation, it was more so of like for me personally, my food wasn't bad. I don't know where everybody got the whole correlation stuff, like how it works at each hotel and stuff like that. But the food we got over here was pretty good. From a majority of like standpoint of like the stuff I saw, people were showing like their cold trays. Like you get a cold tray before you get your hot food. Like, so there's just like a tray of like salads and like fresh fruit and all that. And then after we get a plate with like chicken, like spaghetti, like salmon, like a lot of different options on it. So when I saw that, I was just kind of like, I don't know if that was fair or not, but certain guys feel different ways about it. But for me, it wasn't that big of a deal. So.
How do you pay attention to NBA Twitter?
Not very much. I mean, if it pops up on my timeline, I might look at it, but like from a like keeping up and like updated standpoint, not really.
People are comparing it to Fire Festival.
Whoa. No way. I have not heard anybody say that.
But I
Not
think
Fire Festival.
I think one of the misconceptions was that in the first story that went around, it was just the appetizers for a meal. It wasn't the whole meal. But at the same time, like I like airplane food. Granted, I'm not a professional athlete.
Right.
I do think it's interesting, but no, I'm glad to hear that things are going a little bit
Yeah,
better.
it's not that bad. It's not that bad. I promise you. Especially because like the first day that we're in quarantine, like the first 48 hours we're here, we're in quarantine, so they have to bring us our food. We don't get to pick what we want to eat. You know. So yeah.
I want to talk your whole NBA, as your whole NBA career for a second. Do you have
Hmm.
a favorite moment so far, as far as playing or somebody you got to play against, or a bucket you scored, or somebody you played in front of?
Um, I mean, for me personally, my favorite like moment of my career was we played Detroit at home, like first game of the season. I had just got back. I had strained my calf, so I missed like the first 4 games of the season. And then I ended up having like a double double that game. We ended up winning. But like the biggest part for me was like that was like my parents were there. They were sitting courtside, and I had like a really good game, And everybody, I feel like that's everybody's dream. Like especially as a kid, like growing up, like you always want to play in front of your parents and like do good. So, like that was definitely like a really special moment for me.
Like, bro, imagine if you told like your 14-year-old self that your parents were going to be sitting courtside at
Right,
an NBA game and you were going
right,
to top a double double. Are you
yeah,
kidding? Like, that's the
no,
craziest thing ever.
for sure. And it's only crazy until like after, like when you're in the moment, you never think about it. Like you're just doing what you do, like you're just playing a sport you love. And then after you take it in, you be like, wow, like that's kind of surreal. Like I dreamed about this and now it's happening. Like so yeah, it's
What
definitely
did your
dope.
parents say about it?
They were just happy for me. They were pissed off. I got them courtside seats. First of all, I was so confused. Like, but it was like in like a good way. Like they were kind of like, we don't want you spending that much money on us to sit courtside. Like like so it was definitely from a caring like standpoint. But like as their son, like like I want to like spoil them and like
Of course.
say thank you for everything they've done for me. So, but yeah, it was after that they were like, yeah, no more sitting courtside. Like we like sitting in the regular seats, so we're fine with that. And I was just like, all right, well, at least like you could never say you never sat courtside. So
Well,
yeah.
you have awesome parents for that to be their response.
Yeah, yeah.
What else do you like to do in some of your free time? I mean, obviously, I can tell just based on your T-shirt that you like hip hop.
Yeah.
J. Cole your favorite artist?
Yeah, yeah. My favorite artist, yeah.
Where did you first discover him?
The first time I ever heard a J. Cole song was I heard his song Lost Ones, and it was about like the song was pretty much about like, like a girl like getting pregnant and like them trying to decide if they were gonna keep the baby and stuff like that. And it was just so deep of a song. Like, and I was so young that I had never heard anybody like talk about stuff like that. Like, like back then they had like Tupac and like Nas and like Jay-Z, and they would always talk about like whatever was going on. But like J. Cole was the first rapper I heard do that from my age type of standpoint. Like, so that was really dope for me. But yeah.
That's awesome. Have you met J. Cole yet?
No, I never met J. Cole. Nah,
Well, I'm sure that'll happen soon. He's a big NBA fan.
nah. Oh yeah, yeah. He
Um,
always like keeps up with the NBA and stuff. So
yeah, no, I'm personally a big Knicks fan. Obviously, they're not.
but yeah, we talked about this in Vegas, and I was like, oh my goodness. I was like,
They're
not enough. The Knicks fan.
yeah, they're not going to be joining you guys in Orlando, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah. They might have their own bubble going on though. I don't know what kind
They
of truth is to
created a
that, but
bubble of like winning is on the outside of the bubble, and the Knicks are on the inside of the bubble. Free agents are on the outside of the bubble. The Knicks are on the inside of the bubble.
hey, I don't want no parts in that conversation. I don't want no smoke from no New York fans. So
No. Um, but what else when you're back home during the off
mhm.
season?
Yeah.
What is like an ideal day for Troy Brown?
For me, I love being with my dog. Like me and my dog are with each other 24/7. That's why this is like kind of weird not having him around. But I usually I wake up, obviously go work out and stuff like that. But then after that, I usually find stuff to do with like my family. Um, if I'm not doing that, like obviously, like I love playing video games. I just started a YouTube channel that I'm starting
Hey,
to do like a whole bunch of stuff on, and so I don't know, like whatever my heart desires at that moment, that's what I'm gonna go do. And so I just been kind of trying to step out of my comfort zone a little bit and kind of expanding. So
are
yeah.
you doing Twitch too?
Yeah, I'm actually doing Twitch tonight. I'm about to be playing with one of my teammates, Admiral Schofield, and so we're gonna get on there tonight. So.
What's your Twitch username so people can check it out?
My Twitch username is Troy Brown Jr. 6. So
Amazing.
yeah,
I'm
go check it
starting on
out.
Twitch either this week or next week. Do you play 2K?
Okay.
I assume.
I play 2K and I play Call of Duty, but I just started playing 2K again. So like there's a lot of updates, so I'm getting used to it. And so yeah, I'm
Not an excuse.
no, I mean I'm good. Like I'm not trash, but at the same time, like when the game first came out, I was playing it like every day.
Yeah,
Like so
yeah.
like I was like I knew all the moves and like all the stuff. Like I was green and everything, and now that's not the case right now. I'm kind of
Well, we gotta play one night then. I'm pretty
I bet.
especially if I play as the Knicks. But I
No,
do.
we definitely gotta play.
What's your go-to team?
I don't really have a go-to team. I usually kind of wait to see who the other person is gonna pick, and then I try to pick a team like of like equal like quality, so it's like a good game or like so it's competitive. So yeah.
If you're playing as the Wizards, do you ever sub yourself out or never?
Not really. I don't ever sub myself out. No, I mean, to be honest, I don't. No way.
Do you know what the most points you've scored with yourself is? Because if I was you, I would make sure that I beat Will Chamberlain's record.
Well, like it's different because if I'm playing like competitively, like that's not possible. Like like just based on how 2K is, like but the most points I think I ever scored with myself like on 2K playing with the Wizards probably like 35, like something like that. Like nothing super crazy. Yeah.
No, that's fun though.
But yeah.
Yeah, man, it's what would your best advice be for kind of like the young hooper right now
Mm-hmm.
who wants to take not go to the NBA, but
Right.
like who wants to take their game to the next level, aka
Yeah.
me. I want to take my game to the next
I be
level.
seeing your videos. I be seeing them. They solid. They're solid.
Hey man, you're the silent majority there. Um, but but what would your best advice be to somebody like myself who like has a hoop in their backyard,
Right.
like plays but wants to get better?
Well, I would just say like from a like telling somebody like advice standpoint is just like take every workout like as serious as you would like as if it was a job interview. Like like as if somebody's watching you because I feel like that like maintains like a certain type of like focus and a certain type of like repetition and you're like more locked in. But from a like life standpoint and learning and like being in the league, my biggest advice would just keep it fun. Like always remember it's just basketball and that like this is the sport that you love and don't be too hard on yourself. That would be the biggest thing. Because once you stop having fun, you're not gonna enjoy it anymore. It's not gonna bring you the same happiness that it did before. So
Are you able to maintain that at the NBA level?
yeah, for sure. I mean, I would definitely say my rookie year was harder because like you're coming in the league and you're trying to make a name for yourself. The opportunities aren't as big as they are when you have like more years in the league and stuff like that. But I feel like now for me, I'm able to kind of like separate the two. I'm able to lock in between the lines and still have fun. But then when I step outside of the lines, like like my job is done. Like I know I gave 110 while I was on the court. So
Yeah, that's great advice.
yeah.
And I think because a lot of young kids like to listen to this podcast and obviously follow all of us across social media. What would your best, because you're a super smart guy, what would your best business advice be for somebody, just like who, because obviously you made a bunch of money really quick, and then
Right.
for somebody who is like building their business, I think
Mm-hmm.
your experiences and failures and trials and errors, whatever, will
Right.
cross over super well for especially some of the younger people or people closer to our ages. um what would your best advice be for somebody who has just gotten a little bit of success
Mm-hmm.
and now is in the free world?
Well, I mean, I would it it kind of depends on like who like directly I'm talking to. Like if I'm talking to like a rookie that just got an NBA, like the first thing I would say is the money you see on that contract isn't what you're getting. Like, you know, like that's not like if it says $3 million, like 40% of that is gone from taxes, like immediately.
Yeah.
So like, you feel me? Like, so you don't like estimate your spendings at $3 million because that's not what it is. Like that would be the first thing I would say to like a rookie, but to any other regular person, I would just say, don't get caught up in all like the designer and expensive stuff until like you can know that you're secure and like know that if all that goes away, you still have like assets and like stuff and like stocks and like you have enough savings to where like you'll be okay, you know? Because like I feel like a lot of our world, like even though some people can't afford it, I feel like a lot of like our generation like priority is like backwards. Like they'll rather go buy like Gucci shoes and stuff like that rather than save money. And until you're ready to be in that position to where you can just spend that and know you're secure, like I wouldn't go waste that money. So
Yeah, and I think kind of the essence, a lot of that was don't buy things that depreciate in value.
for
Um,
sure, for sure.
AKA buy sports cards. I'm just kidding. But um, but yeah, man, it's crazy. It's like I see people that will buy like, let's say somebody buys like a Ferrari, bro. It's worth like 2/3 the second they drive it off the lot.
Yeah, and my thing is like now, like being in the league and like having money. My thing is like there's nothing wrong with that as long as you're handling business. Like if you know like you have a certain amount, like you just put all this money in stocks and you just put all this money in your savings. Like if you have like enough money to where like you can do that and still be cool, like I don't know if I would do that, but if that's what you want to do and that makes you happy, like at some point there has to be a balance. Like, you know, like if you want to save, like you shouldn't be afraid to splurge on yourself as long as you know that, you know, you're handling business. So
Yeah, AKA be smart.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
What would you tell yourself in general? Is there any piece of advice that you would give yourself when you're, draft night?
Man, I don't know. I guess I would just tell myself like to calm down. Like, you know, like draft night, like your like mind is like racing, you know, and I was just like, I knew that everything was going to be okay. Like I knew I was going to get drafted like in my head just based off of the work I put in. But like just leading up to that moment, it was so like stressful because I just wanted to hear my name called so bad. But at the end of the day, I would just told myself like, just chill out, bro. Like it's gonna happen. Just wait your time. So
Bro, I can't even imagine. I know like the stress that I had in like school before a presentation, like that was
yeah,
like, oh, like
yeah.
there was this one class that I had where it was honestly the worst thing ever, but they had a wheel where they put
Mm.
all the names. And this was in high school,
Oh,
in a language class.
oh
And
no.
they put the wheel on. I'll tell you a really fun story really quick. This is my greatest life moment. I have never and nothing will ever be better. I can do anything in my life and nothing
Right.
will top how good I felt after this moment. Spanish class, midterms. She spins the wheel. I am totally unprepared.
Oh
Like
God.
I had a presentation good to go. I thought I knew
Yeah.
what I was doing, but you had to use like these 5 conjugations. And,
Oh yeah.
I thought I knew them. I thought I
Wait,
meant
what language did you take? What language did you take?
Spanish. I remember.
Okay. All right. Yep.
But you had to use these 5 conjugations. I thought I memorized them. I'm going through. She spins. It goes on me. Damn it! Could have used it a day because they were only doing a couple kids a day. And
Right.
I get up there and I go through it. I think it's going really well. Like super enthusiastic. Like
Right.
good presentation. I get to the end and it's entirely graded on how many of like the 5 to 10 conjugations you used. She's like,
Okay.
so in front of the whole class, so you used none of them. And I'm just like, oh.
Oh.
And then she's like, but I'm going to give you a chance right now to use
Hmm.
them in a sentence in front of the whole class. And I had no,
Right.
I swear on everything. I don't know
You
who gave,
guessed?
I don't know how. I don't know
Yo, I
how.
need some film of this. I need some
I
film. There's
don't
no
know.
way.
I have witnesses, but I don't know how this happened. I got them. The class starts applauding. And I'm like high-fiving people on the way back to my seat. And she's like, well done,
What?
bro.
There's no way. Spanish was super hard for me in high school. I didn't like. I obviously like. I still like got an A, but like it was just one of those things. Like I really had to like concentrate. Like, yeah, Spanish is no joke.
Yeah, I didn't, bro. The second that for me, I don't recommend this to anybody. Everybody should focus and do their work and do a lot better than I did. But the second I decided I wasn't going to college, it was
Yeah, I hear you.
um but that's definitely your draft night story in terms of telling yourself to calm down. I think that just applies to people in general. It's like just the way that things move. It's like you don't like it's like I'm sure you don't even remember certain games. Like, it just
Right,
you just move on and
right.
go to the next time out. How strict is your diet? I'm curious in terms of just like professional athletes' diets in general, because I think a lot of that
Mhm.
should be applied to people in general.
Yeah.
Everyone should want to be healthier. How strict is your diet?
For me personally, especially like this year, like I said, like I learned so much my rookie year. Like you think you're doing enough to you like get to the NBA, and then you realize like, okay, like enough isn't enough. Like like I have to do more. And so like this summer, like after the whole quarantine thing happened, I went back to Vegas, and I actually started doing like pescatarian diet,
Mm,
and just only like eating like seafood and like shrimp and stuff like that, and that's helped me a lot. Like I think my body fat percentage is like 6% now, so like yeah, it's definitely pretty strict. Obviously, like we still eat candy and stuff like that, but like only when it's convenient or like only when like you deserve it. Like like, there's nothing wrong with like celebrating, and stuff like that. But like at the end of the day, it is your job to maintain your body, and so I think a majority of us probably have pretty strict diets. So.
did you notice any difference? What were you doing before
Mhm.
pescatarian?
I was eating like red meat and like like chicken and stuff like that. Just a lot of protein, and it wasn't like that bad for me for anything. It was just I wanted my body fat percentage to be lower so I could be more explosive and be lighter. So,
Have you noticed a difference?
oh, for sure, 100%. Like I last year I used to play at like around like 212, like 210, and then this year like right now I'm playing around like 206, 207. So yeah, I definitely feel a lot lighter and a lot faster. So,
Damn, that's interesting.
yeah.
Um, because and this topic I'm starting to integrate more because I want this show to be like
Mhm.
everything.
Right.
So, it because I just want it to help as many people as possible. And I know a lot of what
Mhm.
you said is gonna help a bunch of people by default.
Right.
Um, but whether they're investing in sports cards or not. Just like what would your best relationship advice be
Mm.
for young guys?
Best relationship advice. Hmm. Whew, that's tough. You gonna put me on the spot like that?
Put you on the spot like that.
Damn. Um, I mean, for me personally, I would just say at the end of the day, like when you're in a relationship or when you're dealing with somebody else, I would just say always making sure that person like has reassurance. Like like you can never tell a person like you love them too much, or like make sure that they know like you appreciate them or appreciate what they do. I feel like that goes a long way when it comes to like reassuring a person, because when you do that, then like there's little stuff that you don't have to worry about. Like they hear you say it and you vocalize it enough to where like they're like, okay, I'm comfortable now, and then you can kind of be more you because they're not worried about what you're doing. So yeah,
That's great advice. I think that's
yeah,
that's super true. Um,
yeah.
back to college for a second.
Hmm.
What's gonna happen for
Man,
college sports?
I have no idea because I even have like my own questions and stuff. I remember the question like arise, like they were asking like, should the kids that didn't get to play in March Madness and finish their seasons get that year of eligibility back? And they were like, no. And then so it's the same thing like coming up for the next season. It's like, okay, well those kids probably aren't going to be able to play their seasons. So it's like, do you give them that year of eligibility back? Because they're still going to have to go to school, like do online classes and stuff. So I don't know what they're going to do, to be honest with you. So we'll see.
That's crazy, man. Because
So
I
yeah.
mean, March Madness has such a big impact on draft stock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's
100%.
Are there any young hoopers that you're keeping an eye out that are like, that's the dude?
Um, man. I mean, I would definitely say Dacian Nix. He's out of Vegas guy. He's originally from Alaska, but he's from Vegas. But him, Brandon Boston. Obviously, everybody knows who Brandon Boston is from like a high school perspective. I've seen like Josh Christopher play in person. He's pretty good. Um, and yeah, I mean, for some reason, I don't know why. For some reason, that's the only players I can like think of right now. Um, but yeah, so.
No, it's going to be super interesting. I'm curious even um, how the draft. I mean, we saw the NFL do their little online version, but I'm
Right.
and be able to adapt a similar one to minimize any risks. But have you seen any LaMelo Ball?
Oh yeah, I've seen Lamelo. Yeah, I've seen him. When we were younger. I used to play against Alonzo. He was a little bit older than me, but yeah, we played against him. And so it's actually funny, like crazy, like seeing them from when they were younger until now, because like now they're like celebrities at like a certain point, you know. So
Question, because I'm on eBay right now looking at Troy Brown cards. What do you think the most expensive Troy Brown card sold for? And it just sold, by the way, on June 21st.
was the most expensive card probably like $25 maybe.
Bro, $1,000.
You're lying. No way.
Troy Brown, rookie patch auto gold 10 of 10, PSA 10 sold for $1,008 with 20 bids, $40 shipping.
There's no
Bro,
way.
I'm
What?
telling you, this is for real.
What?
Somebody
That's
dropped a
crazy.
G on, and it's not even the nicest rookie card of yours. The nicest rookie of yours would be the logo man, which is where they take the logo and put it on the card, and you probably signed it at some point.
Yeah,
But that
with
was
the
your
stitching on it and
national.
stuff.
What's
Yeah,
up?
I said with the stitching on it, like the stitched in
Yeah.
like logo and stuff. Yeah. Dang, a rat.
Another your super fractor 1 of 1
Mhm.
sold for 800. Um
Wow.
bro, some of these
This
cards,
is no. I'm,
bro.
that's crazy. That is nuts.
4 of 5 sold for 450.
But see, this is what I'm saying. That like, okay, you sign those contracts to get like a flat fee for these cards, and like, so we're on contract. We probably would get in trouble for buying back our cards and
No, not
then
at
selling
all.
them.
Not at all.
You,
I mean, check, but
he
I
said, "Get the facts straight first."
yeah, get the facts straight first because I don't know. But I can't I feel like it would only promote it because the secondary market, which everybody buys them on eBay, by the way,
Right.
secondary market would only help
Mm.
more
Because
people
more
buy
people want to
cards
go buy them. Yeah,
because it's all randomized. There was a big
that's fact.
controversy with Giannis, by the way,
Mm.
where he showed off his own cards, and there were
Mm.
some cards that he showed off that he shouldn't have had.
Whoa, that's crazy.
It's crazy.
Dang, I didn't even know that happened.
And when you get to like big money like that,
Yeah.
like a LeBron 1 of 1 from this year is
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if mine sold for 1,000, like I can only imagine what like LeBrons are selling for, like Giannis's are selling for.
LeBron rookie just sold for $1 million.
That's nuts. That is crazy. You're like introducing me into like this whole world that like I didn't even know anything about.
Bro, I'm gonna be texting you like sale update. You should keep an eye.
That is nuts.
But at the same time, like if you see a dude in the summer and he's going off,
Yeah,
buy his rookie cards.
that's crazy. But that's actually pretty funny because like you could really like invest like that, like on something like I knew you were gonna be good, so I went and bought your cards.
Yeah,
And
man.
now I'm reselling them for
I'm
thousands of
the
dollars. Like
biggest
that's crazy.
I'm the biggest believer in like investing in people in general. Like I look at this
Hmm.
podcast as an investment in a person. Like my guests,
Right.
I'm investing in them as a person as they
Yeah.
continue to go on and do their thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's this piece
Yeah.
of IP or intellectual property and original content.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, as far as investing in your friends, it couldn't be more straightforward than playing in the
Right.
NBA and like having Bradley Beal, like having John Wall. You know, let's find out real quick.
Yeah. No, that's nuts. That is crazy.
Yeah, Bradley Beal just sold for 13 grand.
Sheesh.
Like it's
That's
great.
crazy.
It's
That's
it's
nuts.
crazy. But bro, yours, I'm gonna have to invest now. Um but yeah, man. Are you gonna do anything else fun inside the bubble? I saw a lot of guys were going fishing.
Well, I mean, I think right after I get done with this, so I'm doing a vlog right now. So me and my teammates are about to go play like cornhole and ping pong and Connect Four and stuff like that. And then I think probably like our next off day, we'll probably like go get on the boat or something like that. So
That's fire. Well, I don't want to hold you too long. I appreciate you coming on.
yeah,
And I'm glad you're having fun in Orlando, bro.
yeah.
It's dope, and obviously best of luck to you and the Wizards team. I don't since the Knicks aren't there, I don't have a team to root for. So maybe
Hey, you can be a Wizards fan
temporarily.
temporarily.
Temporarily. But again, I appreciate you coming on. Everybody go follow Troy and myself. What's your Instagram username again?
It is Troy Brown Jr.
And at Buster on Instagram. And I'm going to send you one
Yeah.
of the Revolution Troy Brown Jr. rookie cards in great condition. So without any further ado, my friends, see you next time. Peace.